Before we dive into today's show, I'm asking for your guys' help as we are actually in a like battle here with all the other channels here at Chat Sports, and I want to top our most liked video for the month of August, which was 406 likes. So if you guys could help me out, hit that thumbs up icon. It just helps us get this channel out to more and more Bulls fans, so hit that like button. What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Bulls Report. My name is Patrick Siepman. Now, coming up on today's show, I want to talk about two additions the Bulls made this offseason in Matas Buzelis and Josh Giddey. And did the Bulls front office pull off some highway robbery, landing both of these two young and up-and-coming stars? Well, let's dive into it. Let's start off with Matas Buzelis, who was from the G League Ignite, 6'10", 209 pounds, and he was drafted 11th overall in the 2024 NBA Draft. You may be saying, Patrick, well, why is this highway robbery for the Bulls? Well, actually, heading into last regular season, Buzelis was the #1 ranked prospect heading into the year. If you go back and look at ESPN's big board before last season got underway, Matas Buzelis was #1, and then the Bulls ended up getting him at pick 11. So I think a lot of these teams who drafted before Chicago are going to regret it. But this is how the draft order shook out this past year. You had Reese Shea going to the Hawks, Alex Sarr to the Wizards. Love the pick of the Rockets getting Reed Shepherd, and the Spurs giving Stephon Castle. But the teams that I think are going to regret are like the Pistons taking Ron Holland, the Jazz taking Cody Williams, even a team like potentially the Hornets taking Saloon. Like, I think they would have been, better off taking a guy like Buzelis. And I think teams are going to regret it because we saw the flashes in the summer league. We saw the athleticism. We saw the defensive potential. He really looked like a potential #1 overall pick. I'm not just saying that. And, the thing about Buzelis I love is just the confidence and swagger he plays with. He's always getting up, getting a let's go. He's got this contagious energy out there on the basketball court. And I do want to highlight two plays from the summer league. This chase down block was ridiculous. He had a guard turning the corner on him right at around the left elbow. He had him beat by like 2 steps, but because of his athleticism, because of his leaping ability and his just defensive prowess, he was able to get a chase down block on this play. It was nasty. It lit a fire under this Bulls roster during this game against the Milwaukee Bucks. You also want to talk about another play where he lit the fire up in his teammates. Was this dunk against the Golden State Warriors? Off to one-handed cockback slam. You clearly see the athleticism is there with Matas Buzelis. Now, I'm a big fan of his game, and, a lot of you may be saying, well, he was very inefficient during the summer league play, and I get that. I see that. I mean, shooting 33% from the field is nothing to write home about, and we knew the three-point shooting was a huge red flag and weakness of his game coming out of the G League, but he still was able to put up 16.4 points a game, averaged 4 rebounds and he also averaged 2 steals and 2 blocks per night. So that's averaging about 4 stocks a game. We saw that potential there. And listen, I think the efficiency is going to come with Buzelis. I don't think this is something we need to be concerned about. Honestly, efficiency in the summer league is terrible anyways, as these guys just play very, very hard. They're competing for roster spots, and these guys aren't as developed as they are defensively as they are offensively. But why will he succeed? I got 5 reasons. #1, I already talked about it. The defensive ability. He can guard multiple positions. He can be that true elite defender and a true elite wing defender on the perimeters guarding 3s and 4s. And the athleticism, that matters. If you have the combination of playing hard and the athletic ability, I believe that you will work out. And then from what I've seen from the summer league, the eye test, he has an NBA skill set. It's just going to come down if he can continue, stay in the lab, developing his game over the years. And that's why Bulls fans, we got to be patient with him. I don't think this is going to be something where he hits the ground running, game 1, week 1, just like, Caleb Williams would. I think this is going to be a 3 to 4 year process to where we finally see the final product of what he is. And, the efficiency is a problem, no doubt about it. But I love his jump shot. He's got a super high release point, and it's the same release point every single time. Just going to come down to reps with him, and I think he's going to have a chance to do so. But also the winning archetype. We have seen Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, those 3-and-D wings really dominate the NBA. Even the Mavs picking up a guy like P.J. Washington. The Timberwolves having a guy like Jaden McDaniels. Having that elite perimeter defender on the outside, but can also be a connecting piece offensively and create for his own. Those types of players are so, so valuable. Now, my pro comp for Matas Buzelis, he kind of reminds me of a little AK-47, Andre Karolinko. But you guys let me know, who is your pro comp for Matas Buzelis? Let me know your thoughts down below. Get creative with this one, as he's a unique basketball player, so very curious to see what you guys have to say. Now, coming up next, I do want to explain to you guys why I believe the Josh Giddey trade was an absolute steal for the Chicago Bulls. I'll give you guys my thoughts on that here in a second. But first off, I want to give a massive shout out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Now, Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch their winnings roll in. Get in on the daily fantasy action with your friends and become part of the Prize Picks community today. I already have a lineup for week 1 of the football season, rolling with the Caleb Williams more than 236.5 passing yards. Going to ride the hot hand with Justin Jefferson, best wide receiver in the National Football League, taking the more on his 89.5 receiving yards. Then Caleb's going to be connecting with DJ Moore a lot during week 1, so I'm going to take the more on his receiving yards as well. But hey, download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Shout out to Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app out there. And also, if you want to add more, juice to these games you are watching, especially during the preseason, Prize Picks is a great way to do so. So why was the Josh Giddey trade a steal, in my opinion? And, starting off with the trade here first, I understand that you're not getting equal value for Alex Caruso, but you're banking on a guy who is 21 years old, developing into one of the better players in the National Basketball Association. And number one for me, he's already proved himself. I mean, his stats over the last 2 years in his age 20 and 21 season, fantastic. And we saw the increase. We saw him go we saw the decrease this past year because I don't think it was a great fit in Oklahoma City. But specifically in that 2022-23 season, this was a guy almost averaging 17, 8, and 6 on very efficient basketball as well. Those types of players don't just roll out of the park. Now, it's going to come down to the shooting ability and the defensive ability for Giddey if he could really be a point guard of the future. But he's got good size, and that's what I love about him. A 6'8" point guard. We already saw it with the Boston Celtics, a big team specifically in that backcourt. Giddey has that, and he's 6'8", 205 pounds. We saw it in the international play when he was playing with Australia, how effective he can be specifically in transition and using that body to create space and get to the rim. I think Giddey, if he ends up developing, he gets a little stronger, ends up being a better defender, he could be one of the best point guards in the NBA. But also number 3 for me, he just needed to change the scenery. We know the off-court drama he had last year, and we know just the fit on the basketball court was not the best as he works better with the ball in his hand, and they got Jalen Williams, SGA. He never really had that opportunity this past year in OKC, but he's also an elite playmaker, man. He is great at getting his teammates open looks, specifically from beyond the arc. He can beat almost everybody off the dribble in the NBA. He is that elite, and he's been a great playmaker over his NBA career. I mean, even dating back to his rookie year. Yes, it has gone down every season, but I think that was just more because of the fit he would have in OKC. I could see him averaging 8 assists a game for the Bulls this season because he did it in his rookie year. 6.5 assists per game, went to 6.2, then 4.8. And I do believe Giddey is a modern-day point guard. He's got the size. He can beat players off the dribble. He plays within the flow of an offense, and I think that's so valuable. I don't think the NBA nowadays is, a one-man crew like it was with LeBron or MJ. I think it takes a true team to compete, and Giddey is a team type of basketball player with his size, with his playmaking ability, and for all these reasons, I'm a believer in Josh Giddey. But hey, you guys let me know. Do you believe in Josh Giddey? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no down below in the comment section. Curious to see what you guys have to say. Now, if you guys also want to give me a follow on Twitter, that's a handle right there, @PatSieps. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time. Go Bulls.